Any advice for unattractive guys in their prime years? Boy, I have a lot of advice for unattractive guys. I am an average looking man, and it's difficult for me. I'm not ugly, but I am not Chad. I have a decent bod. I'm strong. I'm fast. I can provide, and it's difficult for me to find a woman. I would love to have a wife. I had one over 20 years ago, and it is nearly impossible to do it. And I'm a decent guy. I'm a decent guy, and it is hard for me as I am open to marriage and meeting a wife. It's and I can be pretty damn social. I can get out there and flirt and be fun with the rest of them. I can go to the clubs. I can go to a bar, which I hate doing. It's disgusting. Do you really want to meet a wife in a bar where she was open to other men? Women don't want to settle down. A woman, one of the proverbs talks about a wise woman builds her house, but a foolish woman destroys it and brings it to the ground. I keep meeting women who destroyed their house. They destroyed their house. And every single ex-husband was two things, not just one of two things. Every ex-husband was two things: narcissist and abusive. Lord, here we go again. It's all the man's fault. Okay. Do I move forward with this and fornicate? Or do I just give her a hug? It gets really old after a while. You're just like, oh, really? And you just waste so much time. Never waste a lot of time. I mean, coffee, chit chat, talk, cool. Dinner, no. Dude, you're going to blow. Like, even if you just go to a low cost restaurant, you know, with a drink or two, it's going to be a minimum $100. What are you, crazy? You know, you're going to spend 100 of your hard-earned dollars to be rejected? No. Now those days are over with. There's plenty of men, plenty of simps out there who will do it. You're just not one of them. But I have had a shitty time looking for a wife. Now, I used to be a playboy. Now, maybe this is more of a payback for me. Maybe it's the chickens have come home to roost. See the rooster? Maybe that's what's going on in my life. But I make it very clear that I'm looking for a wife. Why does that freak a woman out when she hears a man say he's looking for a wife? I wonder why. Any ladies have an answer for that? My intention is to be married, not fuck. Done that. Been there, done that. I've woken up in strange beds before, and I had strange bodies in my bed. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to be somebody's fuckboy. I'm not interested in that. I overdosed in that area. And I'm not interested in that. Explain your stance, because it's ironic. You talk about how it's impossible to find a decent Western woman, yet you talk about marriage and cohabitating. It is cognitive dissonance, my friendly acquaintance. On one hand, Western women are very difficult. On the other hand, I want to be married. I want a wife. I want to be a husband. I want to build something together. And women just want to play. They just want dick. They want a playboy that's available with a text or a phone call. They don't want a man who's serious. The woman whose uterus has been pounded by multiple men over the years and who has the box of dicks in her phone, that woman is the worst choice for a wife. Because it's not like when you get married, she's going to get rid of all the other dicks in her phone. That ain't going to happen. So, and what I'm not going to do is go to another country. Oh, you need to go to Eastern Europe to find a woman. Oh, you need to go to the Philippines. Oh, you need to go to Thailand. You need to go to Southeast Asia. Women are women are women. I don't care what their zip code is. I don't care what their zip code is. Is there hope? Might just become a monk at this point. I've thought of that. I've thought of becoming a monk. I literally have. I'm young enough to still be a energetic, healthy husband and maybe crank out a couple more kids. I would love that. Sounds weird, but I would love that. Matt says, Went on full monk mode after my divorce for a solid 2 years. Best time of my life for sure. Ladies under 35 want a relationship. Over 35, most have kids. Have I dated foreign women before? Yes, I have dated foreign women before. James B says, George, thank you for your advice. Bro, I just found you, but you're very wise and experienced. How does a guy that is below average in attractiveness get a wife in the West? Personality. If you're below average in attractiveness, you can make yourself more attractive. Just work on your body, get a proper haircut. If you have facial hair, make sure the facial hair looks somewhat attractive. That's really the key. You should consider the Philippines. I am not into this bullshit of you got to go somewhere else. Better women do not fucking exist in a different zip code. It's the same shit, different day. Stop it with this. Oh, you got to have a Filipino woman. You got to have a Ukrainian woman. You should try a Polish woman. You should have this kind of woman. They're women. They're women. If she has running water, if she has a cell phone, they are the same. Oh, but they're from a traditional family. They will still fuck you and leave you and hurt you and leave you perplexed. And you'll wonder why you even live and create all kinds of doubt in you. Simp, stop it. You lead the relationship, not her breasts or the promise of pee. Men do shit for the promise of pussy that I cannot imagine. I can't even imagine some of the things that men are doing. It's ridiculous. So it's impossible to find a woman that genuinely cares and loves for you. I don't want to say it's impossible. It's pretty damn hard. It is hard. Let's get real about that. Less materialistic women exist in poorer countries. Yeah, but then you have the materialism. Wow, he has running water. Wow, he has a car. You're rich. No. You can date a younger woman, less baggage, more energy. That is true. I did that before. I've done that before. But the reality is, as they are getting older, you are also getting older. 10 years, they could still be a hottie. 20 years, they could still be a hottie. But then you'll be old and gray. And people will say to her, who's the grandfather? Those are hard relationships, my brother. Those are hard relationships. You end up going from her being your wife to being your caretaker. I'm 48, Mr. Dynamite says, never married. I wanted to buy a car. Brand new 25 years ago, but nobody was selling to me. I don't want a car with 300,000 miles with the luggage of some other man in the trunk. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you have to deal with that. You have two women. What do you want? Do you want the woman who's had, 10 boyfriends, or do you want the woman who's had 30 boyfriends? Do you want the woman who has had 10 dicks in her mouth, or the woman who's had 30 dicks in her mouth? I mean, let's get real. All women do oral sex on men. People use the word dating when they really should mean fucking and sucking. That's all. Oh, I only dated 4 men. Okay, so you only sucked 4 dicks. Seems like nothing. The sucking 4 dick woman seems like a virgin and a real steal compared to the average woman who's fucked and sucked 20 of them. I'm keeping it real because no one else will. Who else is going to talk to you like this? Your dad won't. Maybe your uncle will. What should we look for in a lady? What are the top 5 things you have on your checklist? A low body count, a willingness to get married and have children rather than live for self, a willingness to gladly serve the husband and be receptive to the husband's lead. There's one question that I want for a woman, and that is this: can you follow my lead? Now, you must be worthy of following. And number 2, where are you leading her to? Where are you leading her to? No woman wants to be with a guy who's just going to dictate to her and be a boss, a taskmaster. You need to be a lovingly considerate human being, because you're marrying a human being, not a slave. You got the guys on one end that are like, make me dinner, woman. And then you got the other guys, honey, what would you like me to make you for dinner? You need to be somewhere in the middle. She had a rough day today. You didn't. Guess what? You make dinner. She had a rough day today and you didn't? Guess what? You clean up, fill the dishwasher, do the dishes. That's how that works. That's called cooperation. That's normal. That's being considerate. That's not being a sensitive pussy. That's being a considerate man. You know, if you are sick, there's nothing like a woman bringing you a cup of like hot chamomile tea with some honey in it, a cool washcloth for your forehead. Let's say you have a fever or flu, a woman taking care of you, putting a blanket over you, tucking you in, turning out the light, giving you a kiss on the forehead, and saying, if you need me, just let me know. And she leaves the room, turns out the light, and closes the door. Then she comes back an hour later just to check your temperature, feel your head, brings a glass of water. Do you need to go to the bathroom? That kind of thing. A woman caring for you can be a beautiful thing. And then you also being a caring person, if she's sick, that's a beautiful thing as well. Those women don't exist today. They don't exist. Gentlemen, you are fucking on your own. You are on your own. Gustavo says, how do I know whether I really want to live single with occasional dates or should I get married? I'm not sure what I really want. Can you help me understand? Well, I can't help you understand that. You got to figure out what you want, my man. You got to figure out what you want. Dare go full monk mode for at least a year and see what it does for you. Focus on you, your circle, your work. Make the best thing to happen to you, not hoping the best thing to happen. Lundabon says, split up a year ago, 10 years, 2 kids, did my best. It wasn't enough. Mostly held my frame. That saved me a lot from total conclusion. T-Man says, you say all women are the same the world over. I disagree. My Asian wife is nothing like Western women. T-Man, I will tell you that, hey, I'm happy. First of all, I'm not about to mock you. I'm not going to do that. So I'm happy for you. If you have a woman that is different, I'm not going to rain on your parade. I'm not going to do that. So I'll end it with that. Good for you. That is great. That is fantastic. What do you do if your girlfriend or wife can't have children? Maybe you should have found that out before she was your girlfriend or your wife. You can always adopt, but that's not the same. There's nothing like having your own kid. And I'm a high value guy. I'm in great shape. I'm healthy. I make good money. I'm social. And it's difficult for me. If you are less than those things, then I feel sorry for you. It's rough. Find God, get red pilled, learn to discern, and if it happens, it happens. That's where I'm at. That's a good one. Spinster says, thank you, George, for keeping it real. All people need to hear your words, but especially men. I turned my 33-year-old nephew to your channel, and it has helped him greatly. Thank you, Spinster. T-Man, again, my Asian wife has been everything the Western woman isn't. Been together 30 years, no complaints or arguments. Bro, I will tell you, good for you, man. You know, there are some channels that you can go to, and some guys will break your balls about that. I'm not going to be one of them. I'm happy for you. I'm actually happy for you. And there are people who will say, yeah, but just give it time. And I don't want to use the word unicorns. Yeah, there are some unicorns out there. I would just say, then you are blessed. And thank you for contributing some positivity to the conversation. Now, I do know plenty of men who went to Southeast Asia to find a wife, and they had a shitty time. Everyone says, as soon as you bring a woman from another country to the United States, she gets Americanized and you're fucked. And I get that. I understand that. Then you're really screwed. Beardy Baker says, hello, George. I live in pain every day because I left my family and moved to the United States. It's been 8 years. People think I got to go back. People think if I go back, they will say he couldn't do it there. How to encounter that? Thank you. You need a mentor, people that you can emulate and do what they do. Find successful people and do what the successful people do. You don't get what you want, you get what you accept. Daniel Galea says, George, how do you deal with a gal that I've got to see every day? You be a gentleman, you be firm as a man, stay focused. Your job right now, if you're single, is to make money and build a kingdom of some type, not just to get along every single day. You don't just exist. Monday morning, I got up, I went to work till 5:30. Came home, had a cocktail, watched a Netflix movie, went to sleep. Tuesday morning, I woke up, went to work until 5:30, came home, had a cocktail, watched a next Netflix movie, and went to sleep. You don't want that kind of life. First thing is work on the body. Second thing is get rid of the TV. If you have to get rid of your TV, stick it in an attic, a cellar, or sell it, or get rid of it, or throw a hammer through it. Do what you got to do to get rid of the television. Get rid of it. It's making your brain dead. If you got $1,000 you're going to spend on a TV, you're better getting a bench, a couple sets of dumbbells, and resistance bands. Work on your body. Learn how to keep your skin clean. Learn how to get a great haircut. Make yourself socially acceptable. Put yourself in places. Do what I'm doing, and it's slow as shit, but what's the alternative? Having a different slut in your bed every day? Are you freaking kidding me? Pulling the blonde hair girl hair out of your hairbrush so the brown hair girl doesn't see it? Been there, done that. It's not a good life. So as I've gotten serious, I said 3 years ago that I'm open to marriage after 20 years of being divorced. Now I'm going to the next level and saying I'm wife hunting. I am looking for a wife, and it is dark and bleak. I want to be as optimistic as possible, but I am not finding women out there who want to be married and want to have children. The hell can I say? That's the reality. And I get out there and I'm on social media, and it's difficult. TV is boring. That is true. What age am I looking for? I will date a woman as young as 39 and as old as my age. That's a pretty wide range in there somewhere. Christian women want to get married. I'm not finding that to be the case. Christian women still want to play. They still want to get their uteruses pounded. They still want their breasts to be suckled by strange men rather than by babies. That's what I have found. And I get around. Nobody prepares themselves for this kind of stuff than me. No one does it like me. I get myself looking good, smelling good, put myself in situations, and still it's impossible. But because I'm a positive person and I am outcome independent, I come from a place of joy wherever I go. That's how my life works. What time is it now? Almost 6 o'clock. All right. We've been going for an hour and 11 minutes. Just kind of a casual live daybreak show that I rarely do. Josh says, sad how a woman after 30 years of marriage can just up and walk away. Happened to my buddy recently. Of course, she got the kids, and he is now Uncle Dad. Brandon Staples says, everyone talks about getting married, but they don't talk about how risky the divorce rates are. I do. And I think it's important. I think it's important. Elad says, is there really true love out there? If it's all opportunism, especially when economy is so tough, it's all about who sponsors you best. Yeah, it's a rough environment out there. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie about that. So what do? You got to keep your chin up. You got to keep your chin up. And don't let the bastards get you down. And don't give up just because everyone else has given up. Do not give up because everyone else has given up. And do not adopt a negative attitude about this stuff. I am remaining positive. And I'm putting it out there. Half my detractors are going to be men saying, what are you, crazy? Why the hell would you want to get married again? And there's a lot of people who will run away from me as a result of that. Okay, whatever. Bye-bye. Trust in God. I have trusted in God. So is that the answer? I trust in God no matter what I do. But I don't necessarily believe that trusting in God, that God's going to bring me a person, is the answer. There's a lot that I have to do myself. I'm not going to blame God for my singleness. Like if I have shitty garlic breath and I'm complaining to God that no women want to come near me, whose fault is it? And I trust God. Whose fault is it that women don't want to get near me? My fault, because of my garlic breath. Right? If I have an unattractive body, which I don't, if I have an unattractive body that a woman will look at and just go, ugh, but I'm trusting in God, whose fault is it that nobody wants to be with me? mind. Look in the mirror, men. Look in the mirror at yourself. When you're coming out of the shower, look in the mirror, looking at your body, and would you want to have sex with you? Can you imagine a woman looking at you saying, ooh, I want to be with him? You can't? Then do something about it. Bob Roberts says, morning, I don't think it's a good idea to build your life around women or give her keys to the kingdom. You lose leverage when you sign that contract. Yeah. How did I detect in the past the women who were with you out of the wrong, strictly selfish motives? When it comes right down to commitment, they don't want to commit. They start making excuses about not wanting to be with you permanently, which means that they just want to ride other dicks. Someone's got to tell you the truth. It might as well be me. We want to give all thanks and glory to Jesus Christ right over here. I always have an icon of Christ right here because within sight, like I have, this right here, the rooster is crooked because of the condition of the world is crooked, but we have hope in Christ right here. And always in sight, there needs to be hope. That's the way that I look at it. So have a great day. Use common sense, temperance. Be mindful that God is with you and helps you do the right thing. That's all. And if you're a single man, I don't want to say God has a wife for you. There might be, there might not be, I don't know. But are you doing your part? It doesn't hurt to do your part. If you're a single woman that wants a husband, are you doing your part? Are you trimming back on the pounds? Men are very visual. So do you look like someone that a man would desire? Because it's really the outside. I know it sounds so superficial, but what happens is we attract people with our looks before we attract anything else. So get the outside looking okay and make sure the inside looks good as well. It's like the personality and such and how you treat people. But here we are, we're approaching summer. What a great time to have a girlfriend or a boyfriend or to be courting somebody or to be thinking about a life together, right?